Hi. So today I want to talk about Galactic Federation of Light. It's a big group. A lot of people hear the name and we have our own opinion on what it is, but there's like a lot of stories behind what is the Federation of Light and how do they work and what do they do? Good guys, bad guys, what the hell? A lot of stories. And of course, you have to pick out whatever fits your reality the best, whatever empowers you, without being delusional, but at the same time, choosing what's best for you. So today, working with people, I've had a chance to look into that group, like thanks to someone who might be watching the video, I just got a chance to explore and look into why do some people, like specifically those that are let's say awake, that are have been like working as healers in the past lives, working as warriors, helping out others, helping people from the soul traps and everything else. Why are they targeted? And one of the things I'm finding out is that, well, there's a lot of things I'm finding out recently, but with the Galactic Federation of Light, there are these, let's say, elders like ascended masters, like the ones that know it all and just gonna explain the story and tell you how it is, and everyone goes to them like, oh, what are we going to do about this or that? And they're going to give an answer and everyone's going to listen to them and trust them and go and do everything they say. And in this Galactic Federation of Light, these elders, you know they pretty much form the group, as I saw in this story and like what I've been exploring today. And basically, they're like alien ghoulish like beings. Like, think of creepy ass entity that feeds off of anyone else in order to survive. And that's pretty much what these beings are. It's a group of beings that have to kill and suck out the essence of beings, their blood and all that. And they pretty much like had the idea, okay, well, killing off people was kind of hard, so we're gonna make them like make others give them to us. And what they do is like they pretty much like were causing wars to happen, and like spreading a lot of stories about what's going on, and then people hear the stories and they believe it, and then following the story they're like, yeah, this is the right cause, we're going to go fight the bad guys, when it's actually nothing's really going on, but they spread the fake story and now people are fighting for various reasons. Very much like in this world, a lot of communities, a lot of people are being divide and conquer, as they say. And that's the best way to rule over someone, like install a lot of fear, spread a lot of stories, and when you tell enough lies, people start to believe it. So that's basically what happened with this ghoulish alien group, the elders, the elders of light, as they call themselves. And as they cause war with all the luge that people and beings produce, it's not just humanity, like a humanity, human, like earth is a farm. All of you are subjects to being harvested, simply say. But there are a lot of other planets, a lot of other planes where the same thing is happening, not on the scale like this, like on Earth, but it's still happening. The wars that are being caused, emotions that people feel, the loss, the tragedy, the like anxiety and what people go through, all the negative emotions, all this energy is going somewhere. And these elders, they're harvesting all of that and they're creating soul traps. They're like making planets attack each other, groups fight each other, a lot of chaos going on. And the whole, like inviting reptilians to the 3D, inviting like bad guys and like, oh, let's go on Earth and take over. Pretty much they're doing pretty much their cause of, let's say, let's abuse Earth, let's abuse airplanes, let's make this our feeding grounds. And in all, they're pretty much like wanted strapped. The Galactic Federation of Flight is not looking at, oh, we're enlightened beings, we're gonna help you and free you and teach you stuff. Like, no. It's, you're a slave, you are the food source, and we're gonna make sure you live long enough to keep producing what we need so that we can survive. And these elders are, pretty much like some of the things that are causing the grid around Earth in some realities. For some people that believe into that, okay, the elders, like the whole variation of light, that's their technology. A lot of soul traps, not all of them, but a lot of soul traps are their technology. And the purpose is the more beings they trap, what happens in the soul trap, a lot of beings are losing who they really are. The consciousness, when trapped, starts questioning itself. From being godlike, infinite, never-ending being, powerful, and all it is, like how can this powerful being end up here on Earth? Well, when your beliefs are being questioned, when you're doubting yourself, you're limiting yourself. And when this godlike being is trapped in a way where their perception cannot handle stuff, they start believing, I'm trapped, I'm stuck, I can't do anything. And these beliefs that people have from this infinite godlike being are now becoming, I'm trapped, I can't do anything, I'm smaller, I'm helpless, I'm useless, this doesn't work. And a lot of these form our realities. So all this negative thinking, negative chatter, how we see ourselves, our low self-esteem and all that, it's part of it. And so creating these soul traps where godlike beings or normal people or souls and consciousness, and other like entities are being trapped in one massive cluster, there are a lot of these constructs, the variations of how it looks like inside. They make it like more approachable to a lot of people where, oh, look, it's a library. Oh, look, like they're gonna scan multiverse and see what people are actually interested in. And if you're a healer, if you like to learn, if you like to explore, they're going to create these constructs of soul traps that will be somewhat, something you want to look at, someone you want to explore and see. And if you're into learning and you see this like realm of never-ending library with all this information and artifacts and technologies, and you're like, damn, I'm going to go in and learn. That's the great place. And you go in and the first book you pull out traps you. And now you're in this, library place, but you can never get out. And all the books and everything else, empty, blank pages. And then their mechanisms start. They start harvesting your energy. You're feeling drained. You gain more mass, so to speak. They go at your beliefs where they make you feel like you're trapped. Of course, you can't get out at any point, but if you have the perception that you're stuck, that you can't do anything, and you start believing that from the infinite godlike being you are, you start becoming smaller. You start putting yourself, identifying yourself as like, oh, I can't do much. I'm this. And the story you tell yourself is what your reality becomes. And that's how they play with us. Galactic Federation of Flight and a lot of other groups do that as well. But they have to tell us the story that we would buy into that is limiting us. A lot of fears, a lot of chaos, and anything they can throw at us to make us like, oh, like, damn. And when we start adopting ourselves, when we feel weaker, when we feel like I can't do anything, I can't do this, I can't do that, we feel limited, we become smaller, that whatever they're spreading becomes our current story, we believe it, we live it, and that becomes our reality. And for these godlike beings that are now stuck in the soul traps, and specifically they're being targeted a lot, because with what's going on Earth, a lot of great beings with like, hey, I just want to help someone. And, like they're from one place to another, whether they're healing, where they're fighting for a greater purpose, where they're teaching or elevating consciousness or giving technology or other things they do, they see Earth. And on Earth, there's like a lot of ways people can go at. A lot of people are like, hey, people are stuck, I'm going to help them out. And whether you pull them out of body, whether you try to give them information and teach them from far away or do something, people like that become a target. A lot of people like that before coming on Earth, this is exactly what they were doing. Like, oh, might end up on Earth, or they didn't know that at the time, but they were helping out people on Earth. Giving information, elevating consciousness, allowing people to wake up, to ascend, as people say. And people were learning, and like this is where like, oh, Starchies are coming, oh, like more aliens and stuff coming over to help us. Yeah, you're here. You are the Starseed. You are that smart-ass ET alien that came here on Earth to help people, or got stuck somehow. And that's where we are. And so people like you that lived that journey, that wanted to help others, now ends up here on Earth. And you're a target. Like a lot of people that lived that wanting to help people on Earth without coming here were forced to come here. And again, Galactic Federation of Flight, their group, they're doing, they have their target list. Because I'm not going, I don't know if I'm explaining what I've seen, but there's a lot to talk about in this massive subject. And I just want to make it clear in my own ways. But basically, this Galactic Federation of Flight, the elders specifically, the group of these ghoulish beings, with their technologies of soul traps, where people are stuck within and their energy is being drained, people are being fractured, so they're somewhat losing parts of themselves. If you have this, great confidence and you have this high self-esteem and you feel great, and all of a sudden you're being merged with an entity that is all nasty, is feeling aggravated, like has a lot of this anxiety and worries and concerns. And this is what you should look at if you have this negative chatter in your mind. If you worry a lot, if you have this lot of negative thinking, that's your friend that got with you on this journey. And so a lot of these friends, the entities with their own issues, they're not too aware, but you get a load of them into your space. And a lot of what you have is somewhat being suppressed, or part of it is being taken. Not like you lose it, but it's like if you are happy, if you have love, and you meet someone, you share that. And so what you have, what you're sharing, is being taken by the group, is being used. And these elders are extracting everything you have, so to speak. All your good parts, so that you would be more suppressed and you would go into that identity of, I can't do anything, I'm helpless, I'm hopeless, I'm a victim, I'm stuck, I'm trapped, whatever you say to yourself nowadays. And a lot of what you have, even that lose the negative energy that you start like producing, these elders are like storing it. They have a way to take this energy of yours. And what they do is, when they consume it, consume your luge, consume, even your good states, when the love you have, the good energy you have, they start becoming more like us. So from ghoulish entities that are all into, trying to take over, trying to feed off in order to survive, they start looking more like us. So now these elders of flight, in the Galactic Federation of Flight, they look like humans. They look like humans. They act like humans. They talk like humans. It's like, oh, look, it's a human place. Hi, dog. It's like everyone like us, and they're smart, and they're ascended, and oh, wow, they're so great. They're here to help. And that's the story they tell. It's a lot of crap. Because, like, what they do is, like, they're involved in this intergalactic black market. And the whole adrenochrome, the whole pedophilia thing, they're buying it out on a massive scale. And the more they consume us, I love the dog, more they consume us, the more they become like us. So what I mean is, by consuming our beingness and what we are, how we think, they look like us, they act like us. So now these ghoulish ETs start looking like humans, and now these wise beings that has their knowledge, has their wisdom, has their beingness, can give it to others. And everything you know, or once knew, and everything you once experienced, or are now experiencing, they have that. They become part of you. And it's like a mask. It's like a suit that they climb into and, oh, look. So it's kind of like infiltrate, hijack, consolidate. Where these, alien ghoulish beings create a group called Galactic Federation of Flight. They look like humans that are wise and all loving, and we're here to help, spreading their own crap story. People are buying that because, of course, they want someone to save them. And no one's going to come and save you, just to be clear. Only you can do that. And so these ghoulish entities, they put a great show, because now they have a lot of followers and they all buy into this. Oh, look, ascended masters. These elders, they know so much. And you go into, like, there's my teacher, my guru, my one and only, my spirit guide, whatever you want to call them. And a lot of people buy into their stories. And how does no one know? Because they have essence of us. Because they have the essence, the being is your soul signature, your consciousness signature of wise, of person that is healing, that is helping others. And they're targeting those that are godlike, kind, empathic, and into helping. So that this is the face, the look, the, I don't know, like the beingness they give off to others. Look, I'm that. They look like us and everything else. But their plans, their intentions is very opposite. Because the moment they stop feeding off from our luge, from our energy, from our beingness, The moment they stop taking adrenochrome, they start dissolving and becoming the ghouls again. And how is everyone that's following them into that massive galactic federation of flight looks at them and is like, well, Grandpa, you changed. What happened to you? It's like, that's a big story to explain. And I don't think people will buy that. So as long as they can keep up their image and keep on telling stories and spreading this misinformation and telling people how great they are, how they're gonna contribute, how they're gonna save everyone, and oh, we're here for humanity, we're gonna teach you. It's not the thing. And it's like they're just like trying to maintain the image, ruining everything from within. It's like very hardcore brutes of evil, where, hey, we're just gonna, consume these godlike beings, keep their image, and then we're gonna do our thing. We're gonna put the massive show for everyone, pretending we're great beings, know it all, we're here to help. And of course, they're involved in so many things. Man, the sessions I've did, the people I have talked to that have experienced that have had connections to them, there's a lot. There's so much, and I'm not seeing anything good. Like, yeah, you can read upon like, oh yeah, they're wise beings. This group is gonna help people. They're here to liberate us and all the stuff. No, no. How can they harvest you? How can they trap you and make you their food source 24/7? Is their goal. Of course, not everyone involved in it. Like, let's not demonize all of them, but specifically these elders of light that I have seen that are ghoulish, that are here to just cause chaos, just to make sure there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of fighting in between, a lot of, divide and conquer, spread fear, spread this hate among each other, and all this energy that we produce as humans or as other civilizations out there, it's feeding them. And what these groups don't want is to have people come together and say, hey, sorry, I might have been wrong, or you might have been wrong, but that doesn't matter anymore. Let's be friends. One love. You and me. Let's do this together. People they don't want people coming together. They don't want people uniting. And in today's world, that's very important. And I don't know if I'm making sense to a lot of you. Like, what I experienced, I see everything that's going on. And I don't know how to put it in human words to explain like what I saw and to make sense out of it so that a lot of you would get it, what I'm saying. And I think I'm doing like a decent job, but I wish I could do it better. And I might have Rich watch this video and make a video commenting and everything else. But, we have to look at who we are, look at the issues we're experiencing, and somewhat, like, hey, look at the bigger picture. You are not this physical body. Yeah, that's great up. And so even this, oh, you have a great message or something's going on, like, shut the hell up, like, whatever's going on. And I have to like, whoop, doesn't matter, whatever happened, right? Even right now, the small little incidents that are supposed to distract me to make me feel like, oh fuck, I fucked up my video, it's not the quality content, and this happened and that. Like, no, look at the bigger picture. I wanted to tell you something important that I think is really important. And there's a lot of other things. And so in your daily life, as you're, encountering tons of problems or other things, you have to back out and look at who you are. It's not a physical body. No, you're God. You're freaking powerful. You can do so much. And you have to realize that a lot of that's going on, you're not a physical body. You're not involved in the physical body's problems. Like, look at the bigger picture. Because from there, when you start working from there and seeing, oh, it's a game. Someone's trying to mess with you. Someone's playing you. And you can actually flip your mindset, flip your thinking. And from that suppressed victim, old story that a lot of stuff has happened to you and now you have this, enough. Start a new story. Tell yourself a new story of what you would like your future to be as your past, where I'm free, I'm liberated, I'm happy. A lot of people are, like-minded, they share same goals, people are united, and you would just tell your story, but you have to change your thinking. And a lot of those that are, helping Earth or were trying to do the bigger thing before coming here are being targeted. Specifically, like a lot of triggers in life, a lot of distractions, a lot of little things that would throw you off daily just because you're a threat. The moment you get out Like for you, what I'm telling you is just a story, and that's okay. But you can get out of body. You can shift your consciousness and check it out yourself and see what the real deal is. And once you do that, that's the best thing that can happen to you. To check it all out for yourself. And man, I wish it to everyone, like the ability to, get out and find out the truth for yourself. So anyway, I hope this gives you some insight. A lot of people are giving energy to this Galactic Federation of Light and their groups, and these aliens, they're just harvesting humanity, and that's one thing to be aware of and maybe stop doing it. Same way as people are, like, let's say, praying to certain gods and being involved in religious things that are actually like they're big entities harvesting their energy, causing more problems to get more energy harvested. That's a whole nother subject, but anyway, that's what I want to talk about today. So hopefully you get something out of it, and I'll see you next time.